These are a lot of names I've seen in a long time.
Why was AFK?
I think this is probably not
Yo,
Yeah,
Jack,
I can see you.
because
But
I'm seeing so many names I haven't
excited.
seen in forever.
Yeah.
Oh,
I really want to ask
Yeah.
about like how net neutrality is
good one, good one.
David
I cannot believe they repealed that. I saw your video. I know, right?
Wait, did you switch?
Alright.
It's really nice. I love it.
I mean, I appreciate that. Your sub was the best stuff. I got a lot of comments about yours, man.
Alright, hey, welcome everybody. We're going to silence everyone just for a second. Thanks for coming to the Q&A today. So today's Q&A is going to be all about Rec Room and the Clubhouse edition. We'll chat about anything you guys want to talk about. So yeah, let's go ahead and open it up. I'm going to unmute everybody. So the way this will work is we'll do raise hands. We'll point at you. We'll take a question. I'll repeat the question because it still can be hard for some people to hear on the stream and stuff like that. But yeah, other than that, let's do a Q&A.
And before I unmute you guys, just remember to not pull out your cameras until the very end, because that does actually hurt performance and it makes everything really laggy in here. And also, please don't try to teleport on the stage or throw anything on the stage. I am a little ban happy, so I will kick you out if you keep doing that. All right?
All right, thank you. All right, who has got our first question? I think I see Bench Fox. Bench Fox, what you got? We can't hear your microphone, Bench Fox. Is your mic on?
Uh-oh.
All right, I'm gonna come back to you in a second. All right. Noctorto.
Yeah. Two things. The water bottles thing. You're aware that the glitch thing, right?
Oh, the way it pours out the side.
Yeah. And then there's
Yeah,
another thing.
we messed
Did
that
you know
up.
that there's like a invisible wall in the somewhere in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. So just a couple of bug reports. There's a weird invisible wall in the rec center, and the water's pouring out the sides of the water bottles. That was the invisible wall's already fixed on our side. We're trying to decide if we should push out a patch. We got a few bug fixes coming, but we'll see. But yeah, we're aware of those. Thank you. All right, Liam.
Turn your TV down. How is net neutrality going to affect gameplay?
How is net neutrality? Oh,
Like the
how
loss
is? Yeah, I'm getting a lot of echo from somebody.
It's
Who's got?
Anarchy.
Anarchy, are you able to get the sound off your TV?
I think I just did.
Oh, okay. All right, that's good. Thank you.
No,
that worked?
It's so good.
No, I feel like
Push to talk.
yeah, do push to talk. Do you know how to put that on?
Nope.
Just everyone.
It's on the middle
It's in-
button on
it's
your
settings.
microphone.
Okay. Thank you for helping him with that. All right, so the question was, how will net neutrality affect gameplay? The short answer is, don't know. No idea. It's a little, I mean, it's interesting. It's a little scary, I guess. You know, we don't know how it's going to affect anybody. We're not expecting any immediate changes, but we're for sure keeping an eye on it. But it's not fully repealed yet. There's more steps in the process. So I would encourage everyone to pay attention to that one. And if you're in the US, call your reps. Bench Fox. We still can't hear you, Bench Fox. It might be net neutrality.
Oh yeah.
All right, BMG Alexis, what you got?
If this game is open to kids, then why did you put margaritas and alcoholic drinks in the sandbox machine?
Oh, so the question was, if the game is open to kids, why do we have apparently alcoholic beverages in the sandbox machine? The answer is that they are not alcoholic beverages, they are mocktails. So they kind of... That's also true. Thank you for that. Yeah, so kids can't actually use the sandbox machine and can't get to those, at least not very easily. You'd have to create a room, invite them. They're not likely to see them. We're certainly not encouraging kids to drink, if that's the question.
That was
all right?
basically the entire question. So, yes, thank you for covering that.
Don't drink, kids. Okay.
Stay off drugs.
Banshee.
Yeah, I was just curious, what happened with the signs above the doors in the rec center?
Oh, so Alkmaar, do you want to talk about that one?
Beat me to it.
Oh dang.
So the question was.
Is there a mic on?
Oh, is your mic on?
Oh no.
No, more.
Experiencing technical difficulty.
Net neutrality.
All right, here we go.
Net neutrality.
What?
So the question was, you guys can hear me now, right?
Volts, young
Yeah.
bees.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
The question was, what happened to all the signs for the quests and laser tag in the rec center? And the answer is, they're gone. We made them boring. Really, what we were finding out is that for new users, when they come out of Paddleball, they see all these nice, shiny, pretty doors straight ahead, and they go for those. And it's not a very nice experience to go in there and die. So, so we're trying to spread the love around and, make all the doors somewhat equally interesting so that they're not drawn to nice shiny doors where they just not only don't know how to play it and so might end up bringing, the experience down a little bit for other people while they get used to the game, but also so that they don't have a horrible experience right off the bat.
Awesome puppy, put your camera away. They said not
All
to
right.
put cameras out.
Oh yeah, no cameras, please. Not yet.
Back in your watch.
All right, Ruby, what you got?
I have two questions. The first one, the sandbox machine. It's about the door. So how do you use the door?
Okay, great question. So the first question was, if you've played with the sandbox machine in the new custom room setup, one of the things in the sandbox machine is a door that you can pull out of the sandbox machine, and you can configure the door to take you to any named room. So people have already been creating some really fun hub worlds and puzzle rooms, all kinds of interesting things. But the question was, how do you configure it? And it is a little bit confusing. So you do it with the Maker Pen. So what we're kind of doing is we're steadily, not on the stage, please, Banshee. That's all right. What we're doing is that we're increasingly making the Maker Pen kind of the central interface for editing everything, not just Maker Pen drawings, but just objects in general. And so with the door, what you do is you get the Maker Pen. I wish I could grab one. Next time we do a Q&A, we're going to have a whole set. I'll be able to grab things and show you. We got a little bit more work to do to make that work. But you grab the Maker Pen, you put it into advanced mode, so you get all of the additional tools and buttons, and there's an edit button with like a little wrench on it. So you hit that edit button, and then you put it in the door, and you pull the trigger, and that'll bring up a little like properties menu, and there's a button on there that you can tap to set a name. It actually, when you tap that button, it'll actually buzz your watch. This is a super convoluted process. You tap the button, you open your watch, and there you can type in the name. And you can only type in valid names. If it doesn't find a valid room, it won't set it on the door. Does that make sense?
Basically, he doesn't know why you haven't figured this out yet.
Yeah, it's
like the easiest process ever.
It's a quick, easy 15-step process.
And then,
Ruby, you said you had a second question.
My next question, yeah. So what is net neutrality?
What is net neutrality? Oh, okay. I'm not really sure I'm qualified. The question was, what is net neutrality? I'm not sure I'm really qualified to give a smart answer on this one. But basically, there was some regulation from the FCC here in the United States, saying that ISPs, internet service providers, couldn't block content, any lawful content. They couldn't throttle content, and they couldn't charge more for premium access. So it basically meant that all data going across the internet was treated equally, kind of like water through a pipe or electricity through the electricity grid. And so if this gets repealed, it means that those regulations won't apply, and companies could do things like, we're going to charge you extra for faster internet or for access to these sites, which, there's a lot of arguments I hear. I personally feel like I don't really like the sound of that. I would prefer that all data was treated equally. So, yeah. All right, what else we got? Spider Pigs. Have you got a question? Is your mic on, Spider Pigs?
He can't hear you.
Okay, I'll come back.
Yeah.
He has to pay for
you
his
can't hear
mic.
me. Yeah, damn that net neutrality. All right, Benchbox.
What was the question?
There was no
Benchbox, did you have a question?
He didn't.
Okay,
Okay, we have somebody who can't talk and somebody who can't hear.
Okay. Okay. I have one question before I go because I have something to do. Okay. So I saw that you took my advice to making a description box for the clubhouse. One thing I want to add, maybe make it us like be able to like type more, like so
Sure.
we can be detailed
Okay.
with the rules.
All right. So I know you're busy, so I'll make it quick. So probably the next thing we'll do is we're going to hook up the. Someone got a dog?
Yeah.
I can hear someone dog barking. That's all right. We're going to hook up the ability to make a custom room picture, so you can actually get the camera and take a picture of whatever you think describes your room the best. And so you'll have a room name, a room description, and a room picture. But yeah, we can look at making the description longer. Like, what would you? How much longer are you talking?
Like maybe long enough, like you can put an option like to put a scroll on it. Like that would be cool.
Wow, you want to tell a whole story, huh?
Yeah.
300 characters.
Okay, we can look at that. That's a lot of typing in with Hunt and Peck VR keyboard, but yeah, maybe we can look into it.
Ago in a galaxy far, far away.
All right.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Juju Blaze. Caustic Bomber.
When you're making a room or something, it doesn't let you put a space in the title.
It doesn't let you do what?
Put a space in the title, like.
No, that's correct. Okay, so the question was, when you name your room, you can't put a space in the title, and that is true. So the room has two things. It has a name and a description, and the name has to be unique. There can be only one room with each name. And so think of that name kind of like a URL for a website. And so just like a URL, it can't have certain characters in it. It can't have spaces. So it has to be all one word. And part of the reason for that is, I won't talk about this too much because the team yells at me when I promise too many things, but something...
I can ban you.
Yeah, oh man, all right, I'm in trouble. So something we are working on is a revamp of our website. So we should have something pretty fun to announce early next year about that. And so one thing that we're hoping to do, so I'm not promising this, don't ban me, Akbar, not promising this, but one thing we're looking at and we hope to do is that every unique room that you create actually has an accompanying web page that goes with it that has that name as part of the URL, so you can just go straight to it. Does that make sense?
Wow.
This is a bit off topic.
Okay.
Will there be more quests to play?
Oh, so the question was, will there be more quests? And the answer is yes, for sure. We are actively working on a new quest. Yeah, we've talked about the theme. It's going to be a pirate quest. It's looking really, really sensational. The team has some amazing, amazing ideas for it. I personally am very, very excited, and I hope you all will love it. And we're hoping to have that out very early next year. Okay? All right, let's go over this side a little bit. Undercover effect.
So there's two things. One, there's two bugs that I found. So sometimes when you pull it out around the sandbox machine, it'll become super tiny, like on my profile or Hellfish profile.
When you pull a what out of the sandbox machine?
Like just anything. Sometimes like I got a small bazooka, I got a small.
Oh yeah,
we've
seen it. Yeah, we seem to have a bug right now. I've seen guns that get tiny, and the reloader is still large. Yeah, that's just a bug.
And also, sometimes there's like you can grab guns from any angle, kind of like the microphone stand, how you can kind of spin it around.
Right.
You can do that with guns as well.
Okay, yeah. I'm sure these are just bugs.
Oh gosh. I forgot my
I was
question.
just grabbing something in the
Okay. Cyber Taco.
I found this bug in the sandbox machine.
I
saw when I hit the arrows, like I see.
So probably best to email us bugs or hit us up on the Reddit or the Discord, because you're going to tell me, I'm going to forget, and then yeah. So email us bugs. Let's do Q&A. What we got? Let's go back over here. Anarchy hiding over here in the corner. I can't hear you, Anarchy.
He's on push to talk now.
Oh, he's on push to talk now. Yeah. You have to use the. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just turn your microphone back on for a bit.
He's on PSVR, I think.
Because he's on PSVR, so push to talk is a little difficult.
Hey.
There you go.
We can hear
that too.
Yes. I think so turn off motion teleport in settings. I think you can do that, can't you? I'm checking. It's in
gameplay. Wait, no.
In gameplay, yeah. Turn off motion teleport.
Should be at the bottom right.
Yeah. So the question was, can you get rid of the black effect that appears when you teleport? All right, Notorious RBG.
What are some of the
And turn your mic off again if you wouldn't mind, Anarchy. Thank you. Sorry, yeah.
What are some of the additional props and objects that the prefabs that we might expect coming into the sandbox machine? Because we got a lot in this one, but obviously there's still more to come.
So really good question. The question was, what additional props and things might we see in the sandbox machine? Good question. I know the art team has a bunch of stuff they're planning on, but the honest answer is, so we've been really heads down the last couple of weeks getting the save and load working. Massive props to our engineers who pulled off that. Like it's really amazing how they got that to work so well. I'm amazed at them. And so really, what the way we work at Against Gravity is that we like to ship things early, even if sometimes they're a little. Okay, thank you for the cheers, but it distracts me. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, we ship things really early, like so that we can get feedback and learnings from like seeing what people do with it and what people enjoy and what people don't like. And it's going to be that with the sandbox machine. So we're really keeping an eye on what kind of rooms people are building. I spent some time this morning going and visiting different rooms. I found a great room called Wonderland, which I really enjoyed, which is like a hub world to all of these different things. So I'd recommend going and checking that one out. And so honestly, we're just going to like keep an eye and see what kinds of things people want to build. I will say one thing we've heard a lot of requests for and that we've been excited about is the notion of combination locks that you can put on the doors or that you can put on boxes so that you can make things like escape rooms. So you can hide like codes and find the codes, and then you're gonna like get the So
that is so
honestly,
awesome.
I know I'm really excited. I'm really excited about adding more interactivity to the rooms All right. So anyway, so if you've got specific requests, let us know on the Reddit or the Discord or email us. We're really kind of interested to know what you guys want. All right, BMG Tucker.
Okay, so some people, I don't know what's going on with them. They can't hear you or anything else. I mean, someone had to leave because they just couldn't hear anything. And two, I honestly love the new update. I was surprised when I came on to find the update, and I loved it. It's amazing.
Okay, so the question is, I love the new update, and the answer is, thank you, we appreciate that. No, that's great, No, we are really excited about this one, and honestly, like, I know I say this a lot, and it's kind of corny, but like, we are endlessly inspired by seeing what you guys do with the various games and with the tools that we give you, and watching the community work, and some of our players who like love to build stuff and create game modes, is the inspiration for the sandbox machine. It is the inspiration for saving custom rooms. It's because of all the cool stuff we see people do that we're like, all right, man, we just want to set you free to make whatever crazy stuff you can think of. So thank you. Benchbox, is your mic working? Third time's a charm.
Sounds like he's trying to talk.
Pretty good dancing. I do like the dancing. All right, not to worry. All right, Ogdan, what you got? Ogdan.
So when will the chair, like the chair hack, where you grab the chair and you put it on your hand, and like hovers, and then you can go on it? But when will that be fixed? Because it's kind of annoying, like just walking around and seeing people flying in the hair.
The question was, when will the chair hack be fixed? Because I don't know. I don't know is the answer to that question. Honestly, we get a lot of feedback. People seem to love a lot of the glitches, and so probably what we do is, especially with the sandbox machine. Again, I don't want to make any promises that people yell at me about later, but something I'm very interested in doing is experimenting with some various kinds of locomotion in the sandbox context, so you can get something out of the sandbox machine and use it to move in different ways. And so we might evaluate things like the chair hack to get up into the sky if we give you a more sort of official way that you can get up into the sky.
Yeah.
All right, San Karaku.
Hey, okay. The spectating thing does not work at all. When the hell are you going to fix it?
What is the spectating thing?
When you go to the match, you just want to, recharge controllers. Yeah, you just want to watch, and you're trying to recharge your controllers. I try to watch, but it's just a loading screen looping at me, laughing at me, telling me you're not going to enter.
Good feedback. All right, so the feedback was, what the hell is up with your spectator mode? It's terrible. You're right, it is.
Exactly.
We haven't really paid a lot of attention to it recently. It's interesting actually to hear you say that the use case for spectator mode is you want to stay in Rec Room, but you want to charge your controllers. That's a really interesting thought. I've not heard that one before. So yeah, we should just really take a look at that and fix it. Honestly, we put in spectator mode really early when we shipped Rec Room, and we have not been paying close attention to it. We should.
Or any
Yeah.
attention
All
to
right,
it.
thank you, man.
Yeah. All right, let's go over this side. Oh, you remembered your question, Undercover Effect? All right, real quick.
Why is the
Then
new
we'll do you,
teleport
Super.
animation so like poppy?
I don't know.
I mean, I like it, but
I just got knocked out.
with the
Sorry.
new teleporting?
So the question was, what's with the new teleporting effect? I like it, but I'm going to ask it in a way that makes it sound like I don't like it. One thing we wanted to do was support team colors. I'm getting a lot of echo again. Does someone have sound on their TV? If you've got, Hellfish, that might be you. Can you mute yourself? I don't think that's helping, Undercover.
Yeah, that's not helping.
All right, there we go. Perfect. All right, that's much better. So the question was, why did we change the teleporter? So, I mean, we wanted to kind of streamline it a little bit because we thought that in a lot of screenshots and when you're watching streams and just when you're in Rec Room, the teleport effects can be quite distracting. And we felt like since people are getting more familiar with VR, you don't need as much feedback. Like people now are much more familiar. Like when we first shipped Rec Room, it was still pretty new. So now we just did something a little more minimal. Also, we changed it a bit so it would support team colors. And so in Paintball, your teleport trail is now team color, so you get a little bit more information about who's teleporting where. It also shows the cooldown in the height of the beam, so you get a little bit more feedback of like when your teleport's ready for the next one. So that's why we did that. Okay, so
for example, in the rec center, you can't teleport so high.
Okay, hang on. Super, what you got?
I just wanted to listen. Because you wanted a question, so one of us could get in.
So So the question was, are you going to be able to customize your dorm room and maybe invite people to your dorm room, right? So let me talk about that a little bit, because the honest answer is probably, not quite sure, and here's how we're thinking about it. So one thing, actually it went out in this update, and I can't remember off the top of my head how to do it, but actually something you can do is pass as a command line parameter to Rec Room as you launch it, the name of a room, and you will actually launch directly into that room rather than your dorm room. So one thing we're thinking about is maybe we'll let you use a custom room as your dorm room. So rather than everyone having the exact same dorm, you can just create a room, set it up the way you want, and then every time you launch Rec Room, you launch directly into that room instead. That would also have an interesting effect of you could have a shared dorm room then. So like if you point your game at the same room, everyone launches into the same room. Now, there are some complexities with that because we're obviously an online game and we need to account for lots of complexities around what happens if you don't have an internet connection or what happens if we don't get a response from the server from some time. And so we need an offline space to put you. And right now, the dorm room is the only offline space in Rec Room. It's the only place where you're literally not connected to other players. And so we do need that for some housekeeping reasons. So we still got to figure that out. But definitely we want to support, you can boot into a space that's customized and you can boot into a space that's shared with others. We definitely want to do that. Yeah. Yeah, so I think that we should be able to do pretty soon because we've now got the customizable doors that you can just link up to any room, and so we could give you one of those in the dorm room, and that would take you wherever you want to go.
Some bucks in the dorm.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely active. I don't want to say yes or no. I want to say we're thinking about it, and we definitely want to support booting into customized spaces. Okay, let's come over here again. Pigsty. Oh, hey, you leveled up.
No, I got a cheer.
Oh, you got a cheer. Okay, sorry.
Different effect.
Are you guys aware with when you create a new costume and you save over it, it still launches the game, but you're still wearing that costume when you do it, and it keeps reverting back to that one as soon as you launch it back up, even if you save over that certain one.
Wait, well, I didn't hear the question. I just heard are you also getting, when you log back in, your outfit is not the one that you logged out with?
Yeah, if you save another one, then save over it, it still stays.
Okay, I can answer this one.
Oh, yeah, I haven't had that, but I noticed today when I logged out, I was wearing this, but then when I logged back in, I was wearing one of my other saved outfits, and I was like, that's annoying. Yeah.
Okay, the real answer to that question. So the question was
fast.
about the saved outfits, and there's some bugs in it. So the real answer to that question is Bilal programmed that feature, and so you should go find Bilal and yell at him.
Baloney. Baloney.
I'm gonna go to laser tag. I'm gonna do
Go
laser
and
tag.
coach him, Bilal.
Hand
I'll
up for a
blame him
really
in
long
laser
time.
tag.
Baloney.
Touch your toes.
Okay,
I could do that.
so like right now, there's the whole idea of like you can have custom rooms and you have custom rooms that lead into other rooms, so you could create like mazes and stuff. But one of the problems with that is that whenever someone enters a room, like whenever someone goes through a door into a room, that room becomes public. Anyone can see it listed. Which, if you have a maze, could be a problem because then anyone can pop into that room. And so, I think I suggested this somewhere, but like, would you guys be like? Personally, I think the way to do that would be like unlisted rooms, but like, what are you guys planning to do? Anything like that, like private shared rooms or something?
Let me repeat the question. So the question was about, right now, in order to have a door take you to a room, it kind of turns it into a listed room that anyone can find it. So if you're trying to create a maze or an adventure or an escape room, like you don't necessarily want people joining halfway through. So yes, we're definitely thinking about that. We've kind of talked about maybe doing the unlisted thing, kind of like a YouTube video does. Not 100% sure how we're going to do it, but that's something. So let me talk a little bit about the rest of the year for us. So yesterday's update's probably the last major update we're doing for the year because we're heading into the Christmas break. It's been a kind of crazy year for us, but we're still working, and we're basically like we're hoping to clean up and just kind of do a bunch of little bug fixes, clean up a few things, and also do a lot of thinking about the conceptual model for rooms and invites and permissions and sharing. So we need to just do a little bit of thinking and learning from, this early version that went out, seeing how people play it over the weekend. But yeah, we definitely want to support that kind of thing, for sure.
About the open
all right, Caustic Bomber, since you're right here.
There's a glitch with the new teleporting when you're in like a quest or something and you have a weapon in your hand. Oh, sorry.
Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. That sucks. That sucks.
Where'd you go, Caustic? Are you still here?
Right
Where are
here.
you?
Right here. In front of you.
Oh, okay.
I thought you got. Oh god.
But anyways, when you have a weapon in your hand, mainly in Jumbo, the teleportation, it's kind of glitchy and it makes the.
Okay. We'll take. All right, we'll take a look. Reporting of a glitch with teleporting in Jumbotron. We'll take a look. Cyber Taco.
I'm just wondering, how do you delete your saved outfits?
How do you delete your save? I don't know. How do you delete your save over them?
Yeah, save over them.
Oh, the question was, how do you delete your saved outfits? The answer is, I don't know. But someone said save over them, and that sounds reasonable to me.
There's no delete
but then there's a glitch with that, apparently.
Yeah. Well, apparently we don't like adding things. You may have noticed we don't like adding features that let you delete things.
Different outfit afterwards.
You can't delete custom rooms right now. You can't delete friend requests. You can't delete outfits. We just want you to keep your stuff.
Someone's playing with that.
Shred Savage.
First of all, thanks for fixing the motion controls, swapping them. It makes it a lot easier going game to game, so now I don't have to switch them. Awesome.
No worries.
For the maker pin, I really enjoyed that. Do you plan on adding any more options as far as like the creating part goes, and more shapes or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we definitely, I think in the near future, we'll add some more shapes. Like we got a cone shape that's ready to go. We just got to get it in there and shipped. Honestly, the biggest problem is figuring out where to put it in the UI. It's easy to add more shapes to the pen, but getting the UI comprehensible is always a challenge. But yeah, we're going to be adding...
Could you do like you can maybe do pages for that, like click over to add more options, more buttons, or like even a shapes page itself. But another suggestion for colors, could you add like transparent in so I can erase, let's say a sphere, and I want to erase part of that sphere to make just make it like transparent so it erases that shape, something like that.
I'm not sure I understand what you're asking for, but like
okay,
you mean
so like
erase part of a sphere?
Yeah, so if you wanted to like, let's say like make a hollow part of a sphere, right, or even like any shape, you could just make that color, just make it transparent so it erases whatever shape you're making there.
I see. Yeah, I mean, we're going to look into all the stuff like that. I wouldn't say we're going to do that soon. That one's a little more challenging. Because that means we got to like mess with the vertex data. But yeah, let me just answer more generally. Like we Man, if you go, there's a room. What is Death Bunny's room called?
Sweet.
Bunnyland? Is it
Yeah,
called
something like
Bunnyland?
that.
There's like, if you want to see some... Yeah.
Can you make Motivator a host?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
Can't
can't.
you make vote? You can't?
Nope. Only because
man.
it's your room.
Votivator.
Alright. Let me go look. I'll look for her.
Alright.
Really quick.
There's Votivator. Alright. So Votivator is the programmer who works on the Maker Pen the most. So yeah. So Shred Savage, you got to pester Votivator for all these crazy features you want.
Props to you.
So yeah, so we'll be working on the Maker Pen a ton. We've got a lot of plans for it. Pedro, do you want to talk? I mean, Votivator, do you want to talk about any of your?
Of my what?
Talk about the Maker Pen some.
Oh, the Maker Pen is awesome. I really want to do kind of a a revamp of the UI though.
It's your first time.
It's kind of we're just like adding stuff on top of it. We kind of make it a bit sleeker.
Throw yourself to the crowd, Gribbly. Throw yourself to the crowd.
I was going to get I was getting some water.
What have been the most interesting requests for Maker Pen stuff?
Fully
in operations.
Impacting the performance.
And a cone shape.
Oh yeah, we have that one.
Yeah, I know.
Bomber,
All right, Bolts, what you got?
Finally! Right, what I was gonna say... right, you know our mini...
Keep your cameras away.
Can you add, like, an option where we can have an FOV version of it? Because I've wanted to make, like, I've made a small town and put my mini-me inside of it. I'd love to have, like, an FOV version so I can teleport around in my mini-town and, like, I'm in a giant town.
So the question is, could you build like a scale model of a town and then like teleport into it and walk around it, right? Is that what you want to do? So I don't know when, and Votivator will punch me if I say anything too crazy, but so what I'll say about this is who keeps. All right, thank you for the cheers. What we think about, we don't know how to support this yet. Basically, what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to scale Maker Pen creations, so you can build at one scale and then scale up and down. Because right now you're limited to your wingspan. You're limited to your wingspan when drawing, and that's pretty limiting. One step crazier than that. What I want to be able to do is grab this room and scale it down to like tabletop size, and then build it, and then scale it back up. So you can actually kind of do what you're describing.
That's awesome.
Like
someone's having
Mama Monkey
having a time.
Are you okay?
Someone's having a real good time.
Yeah, Mama Monkey has great confidence in my ability to do that. She's like,
exactly.
That's the dumbest thing. All right, fine. Okay. Does that answer your question? Does that answer your question, Bolts?
No idea.
Kind of.
All right, we'll say that's close enough. All right, BMG Tucker.
Yeah, close enough.
Okay, this is just like a suggestion, but you don't have to do. I just think it'd be cool on my part. It's about the Maker Pen, which is really funny that he ended up joining. It's about like there's some people that are like just amazing with the Maker Pen.
I sent you an invitation so many times.
Pretty, like this was right here.
I know, you were
this was amazing.
Yeah, I'm
but,
sorry. I'm sorry.
There's some things that like we were hoping that he could like save, or like he wanted to save, and you see that that's not an option on the Maker Pen, and like you want to save some of your creations because you think they're so cool and you not be able to create it again.
Okay.
So
yeah. I think I get it. So the question / suggestion was, it'd be neat if you could save your Maker Pen creations and like maybe spawn them in another room or copy them. We do want to support that, right, Votivator?
Yes.
All right. Do you want to talk more about that?
Why not? Why not? Give it to him.
I mostly want to ask questions about that, because like one thing is, I want to like save this thing I made, but how do you want to access it? Like, is it something I want to pull out in the rec center for everyone to see, or is it like a menu like my clothes in the dorm room, or how would you see yourself using these things?
Like, if, like, let's say I created something, and then I joined, I'm like, oh, I just created something so cool, and, like, it was just, like, in a room that my friend created, and there's other people that wanted to see it. I could show them, and like ended up going through a selection of the things I've created and click it, and then like if I pulled the trigger, like it'd show up or something like that.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
I have a good answer for that. So I think what we'll do first, and again, not making any hard promises about when, but there's definitely something we're thinking about, is we're probably going to let you browse your photos first. So right now it's kind of cool. You can take photos, you can print them, you can save them to your computer, email them to yourself. But it'd be really neat if you could like share photos with people and send multiple copies to each other and save them and pin them up in your custom rooms and stuff like that. So we're going to need to solve browsing of your collection of photos, and then whatever solution we come up with for browsing a collection of photos, we will very likely reuse for browsing a collection of Maker Pen objects.
That would be really cool. I can't wait.
Photo book.
Okay. All right. Zombie shots.
Have you guys thought of making any new quests?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Nope.
Yeah.
They're not very popular.
No more quests. It's over.
I mean, no one seems to like the quest, so we've decided not to make any more.
No more.
Good. I like that answer. We're sticking with that answer for now on,
Yeah,
guys.
it's disc golf only from now on. It's disc golf only from this point on. Yeah, no, we have announced the new quest. It's coming early next year. It's a pirate themed quest. I've been playing the prototypes. It's awesome. Ooh. It's going to be real fun. Touch your toes. You got another one?
Yeah, so you guys have like a lot of kind of existing games right now, and so this is kind of like a two-part thing. Like,
We got the science contingent going on right here. Sorry.
Yeah. The scientists over here. But yeah, so have you guys like considered adding additional like modes to the existing games? Like, so if there was like another paintball mode or another dodgeball mode or like stuff like that.
Yeah. So yes, we'll be continuing to make the games. So you know, we kind of have a team. Like everyone works on everything at Against Gravity, but like we've kind of got a team that focuses mainly on games, and now we have a team that mainly focuses on Maker Pen and creative stuff. So the game team is currently working on the new quests, and then after that they're going to look at touching up some of the other activities, adding new modes. Not 100% sure what they're going to do. I know they got some crazy ideas, but make noise in the forums for things you're most interested in, because that really does influence us. So if people are like, we want another paintball map, and we hear that a ton. That makes it more likely that we'll do it soon. All right, I want to take a question from over here, and then I'll come back. Oh, yet another one?
Just real quick, like, and then have you guys considered any games that perhaps have like more than 2 teams? Because most of them are just like binary.
Well, I will observe that disc golf technically has 4 teams of 1.
Wow.
And
that was math on the fly for Gribbly.
Yeah, I know. That's as complicated as I get.
That's one.
So, what kind of game are you thinking of?
Like if there was like a 3-team dodgeball, like 4-team paintball, or stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. I haven't really thought about it a ton, but yeah, it's the system is set up to support that, so it shouldn't be too hard. So yeah, I think we could do that. All right, I'm gonna go across this side, then I'll come back to you, Sankaraku.
Okay.
I haven't been over this side for a while. All right, let's see. Who has not asked a question yet? Skyward.
Andy hasn't.
Okay, we'll do.
How long is this Q&A gonna be?
You got somewhere to be, Skylar?
Long enough.
I mean,
how long would you?
I like
the question was how long is this boring Q&A gonna go? No, I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing you. So I can be here for another 20 minutes. I gotta leave at 5 local time.
They typically go for an hour.
Yeah. All right, Tweeson. Oh, you got
Wait, I'm
off the
sorry.
stage.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Tweeson.
Okay. I was.
Yeah, you'll get kicked. Hey.
For the
I don't think I can hear you, Tweeson.
Oh, I can.
You can?
I can.
Really? I can't.
Have you muted him?
Not intentionally. Let me see.
Nara, repeat the question.
You can go ahead and ask it while he's doing
just
this.
ask it and we'll...
For the Maker Pen, is there any ways to like save your drawings, or because I heard it like I thought that would be. I thought it'd be
That's
really
funny.
cool
I didn't even see Tweeson in my
if you could like
nearby list. Man, you programmed this terrible game.
He's a ghost.
and like.
Oh, yeah, here he is.
Yeah, at the moment, as far as
I
I know,
just
the only way to save a creation is to save it in a room. You can't like save a creation and then spawn it out of the maker pen later.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. All right, Twisted, now I can hear you. Not yet.
Go, Motivator.
We
Get on that.
definitely want to be able to support that. Let's see. BMB, Fuzzy Kitten Legs.
In the future, do you guys think you'll ever do like holiday themed items, or like
Look at the park.
center like
We already did the
Halloween
Like the candy cane sniper?
sniper.
There was a
Themed items like clothing.
Oh.
Okay.
We have some.
All right, Alkmaar, you want to take that one?
There is like a winter sweater hat scarf combo currently in the works. We'll see if we can get that out before Christmas. I'm not positive, unfortunately. It got a little pushed behind for all of these persistent rooms. So yeah, that's, and then we have the candy cane skin, and there's some snow in the park.
Oh, a candy cane sword.
I'm impressed. I love the
Yeah,
show.
okay. I mean, generally speaking, we like to focus on things more that are, all year round, and then hopefully we'll make custom rooms good enough that you guys can throw the holiday parties for us. Biker.
Okay, I have a question about my favorite game mode, disc golf. Are there going to be any new maps?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know when, but I really love disc golf too. I love disc golf way more than most people.
Doesn't?
Yeah, right. I know disc golf's the best. Yeah, everyone's like, yeah, disc golf's great, Gribbly. We love it. I think you can expect a new map at some point. One thing I've been thinking about is disc golf might be a really good. We think a lot about the new user experience. So as new players come in, just recently we started sending new players to paddleball so they can start playing a game. We're thinking like it might actually be good to do like an introductory 3-hole disc golf course. That's a really simple one for new players. But I know that's not really what you're asking for. You're asking for something more for experienced disc golf players. But yeah, we'll do another map for sure. Liam.
Okay, so I have 2 questions.
2 questions.
One is in paintball or laser tag, whenever you hold the gun or it has like a scope or something and you look down it and you get too close to someone who has their ignore bubble too large, the scope goes away and you can't look down it.
Oh.
So,
You're getting
that's more of a statement than a question, but yeah, maybe. Okay, so.
Okay, yes, that was you're right. Okay, the second thing was.
Let's go for different then.
Well, I mean, like, what if someone like is protecting the back of you and like you're. Okay. I love disc golf.
Yeah.
I love disc golf. What about normal golf? What about
so normal. So the question was, after some brief complaining about the ignore bubble in laser tag, the question was, there's another statement that I love. I love disc golf, and then what about normal golf? So historically, we've decided not to do normal golf because I don't really like the pose of like leaning over like this for long periods of time with the headset hanging off your face. Just doesn't seem super inspiring. Yeah. That's not a hard no, but I think we're more likely to do another disc golf first before we did a golf mode.
Okay,
but again,
one more thing.
Oh, sure.
The sandboxes and all of the game modes like paintball, disc golf, or whatever, none of them work.
You have to be in sandbox mode, so you got to go create. You go to custom room, create. Go to disc golf or whatever and choose sandbox mode.
Yeah,
I know
they still don't work.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. We'll check into that. That's probably Motivator's fault.
Poor Motivator.
Aren't you glad you came?
Yeah.
Oh,
Welcome, Motivator.
Getting all warm and fuzzy inside now.
Yeah. Greedy Dolphin.
Are you guys planning on making any more games?
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna.
Nope. Ping pong.
Oh, so probably not ping pong in the near future. We're currently focusing on games with a higher player count, typically speaking. But yeah, there'll be new games for sure. All right.
Hey,
anyone
Jerry,
got a make a pen question for Motivator?
Sorry.
All right, Jet G.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, does the size of the initial room you create have an effect on how much you can make with the maker pen? Like if you start a custom room in the park, it's so much larger than the lounge. Does that mean in the lounge you can actually make more stuff?
No.
That's good to know.
No.
In
Easy answer.
Bouncer. Best
Repeat the question, Motivator.
Yeah, so the question was whether you had different amounts of stuff you could make from the sandbox machine or from the maker pen in the different stages or in the different rooms. And the answer is no. You can make the same amount of maker pen creations, the same amount of sandbox creations, whether you're in the lounge or in the park.
Great. I have a question related to that then.
Yes, I'm in.
No, you don't get to.
I don't get to ask one? Okay. What about... Okay, never mind. Fine. I'll just ask you.
Your question,
All right. What if, related to that, would you be opposed to the idea of having an empty room, a completely blank slate that you could make way more stuff in?
That would be cool.
Yes.
Like a holodeck or something.
That's a good idea.
Wow.
Yeah, that's actually a good
Pause
idea.
and a no.
It just makes my job easier because I'm an artist. I don't have to do as much. Yeah, the room's empty.
Hang on, I'm losing track of my hand.
Another pause. Never.
Well, so who would like a blank slate room where everything in it is placed by the users?
Everyone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, I would say we're gonna talk about the right way to do it, but yeah, I would say likely to give you something that's more of a blank slate to build from.
I'll concept it right away.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Let us know when you got that done, T-Money. Okay. All right. Dragon Slayer.
Like a museum. That'd be cool. Museum.
We're talking about
Played
that
a lot of
actually.
dragons.
Oh.
Dragon Slayer, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, now I can.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
You got a question? Or are we just saying hi?
Yes. Will you be adding any game modes to this game anytime soon?
Any game modes?
Yeah, any new game modes.
We're gonna do another quest first, and then yeah, we'll be adding some new stuff, but I'm not exactly sure what it'll be. But yeah, next year we will. All right, Notorious RPG.
Are you going to be looking to support multiple instances of the same custom room? For example, the holiday thing that I'm doing at the end of the month. Obviously, might be more than 20 people that want to do it. Are we going to be potentially more than...
I have a question.
Yeah. So all right. So the question was, are we planning to support instanced custom rooms? So similar to the way that, like, if you go to paintball and it fills up, the game will just spin up hang on, I'm answering a question. The game will spin up another paintball map, and then another paintball map, and then another paintball map. So you can have lots of people playing paintball. So the answer is yes. We want to support that. It'll probably be it'll probably be in the you go to this room details, and there's a little settings button. We'll probably have a checkbox there for instanced, and then when the room fills up, it'll just create another copy. So yes.
Question? That's amazing.
Thank you. Sorry, who's talking to me?
Me.
Who?
Down here, Jaguar.
Fine, Jaguar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yes, fine, Jaguar. What do you got?
Will you be adding boxing?
Will we be adding boxing? It wouldn't be a Q&A if we didn't get asked. At some point, I swear it. Yes, at some point. I don't know when.
I second that.
Hey, I have another question. There's like 5 guys waiting at the door trying to get in.
Okay, that's not a question.
That's not a question.
Yeah, no, yeah. So the statement was there's people outside. Yeah, I know. Like over time, we'll figure out ways to make the room limit higher, but right now we kind of max out the room at this number. So unfortunately,
Kind of already lagging at this moment.
no, it's all right.
Can we ask ours next, please?
$50.
I know this always happens. All right, Spider Pigs.
Jeez, there's a lot of people.
Hey, I have a question. Will you be adding more laser tag maps?
We were talking about that just the other day. So I talked to our gameplay guys, and they were like, yes, they could imagine adding a new laser tag map. I don't know when exactly, but they were definitely interested in doing it. I think we probably want to keep optimizing the current one a little bit more and making it more balanced and better. We're starting to do some experiments with some more skill-based matchmaking. I don't want to overstate what we're doing. It's very simple, but we're noticing in laser tag that the skill gap gets pretty big pretty fast, and so I think we want to solve problems like that before we add another map. But yeah.
And I have a comment. I was in here.
Yeah.
I joined in when it started, and I couldn't hear anybody. I couldn't hear anybody say anything, so I left, and I tried to join back in.
Oh, you might have come. Oh, sorry. You might have come at a moment where Alkmaar had muted everybody. She has a button that mutes everybody. and
So
you might.
he was the one that he couldn't hear, and then the other person couldn't talk.
Oh.
Are you on PSVR?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Okay, PSN was having some issues when we started
Oh,
this,
okay.
so I'm wondering if it was related to that.
All right, get in touch with us, and we'll see if we can figure out what happened. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, I think it's fine. I left and joined, and now it's fine.
Okay. Greedy Dolphin.
Are you guys planning on adding like any more levels to the quest?
As in the existing quests. So
There's another one.
I doubt it. I think what we're more likely... So the question was, are we going to add any more levels to the existing quests? No, I think we'll focus more on building new quests. We do occasionally go back to the old quests and and put in what we consider to be improvements and try and fix exploits that people have found and stuff like that. Probably what we will do with the old quests is open them up for sandbox mode so that you can use the various environments as the basis for custom rooms. Yes, fine, Jago.
How many times do you play this game?
How many times have I played this game?
He doesn't leave. He doesn't leave.
Like, daily for the last 2 years? A lot.
I think he's a little confused by the level.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, I use multiple accounts because I'm always testing stuff and I reset my level. Okay, BMG, Andy Marie.
BMG.
Mine kind of related to her question earlier. Are you gonna add like items for events like Christmas, like New Year's and stuff like that you can put in the rooms?
So same answer. So the question was, seasonal items for events and stuff like that. I think we'll focus more on general purpose items, and I think, I think occasionally we'll do stuff like that. But once we get it to the point where you can make kind of more detailed stuff with the Maker Pen, and then B, you can save those items and share them. If someone, like that way, someone could make like a Santa beard and a Santa hat and share it with each other, and then we don't even have to do it. So
then,
something that sorry.
Sorry, and then are you gonna add more words to the charades?
Yes, yeah. So the question was, are we gonna add more? Are we gonna add more? We had a lot from you.
If everyone knows Bob Ross.
Enough questions from Fine Jaguar, thank you.
But please, are you actually gonna add the recording camera over there?
So the question was that I've been trying to answer is, are we going to add more words to charades? And the answer is yes. We were just noticing that everyone knows all of the words. So I think next update, we really want to focus on adding a bunch more words and refreshing that. It's a constant challenge for us to come up with new words because none of us are really any good at it, and it's hard to find a source of inexhaustible source of words. We might have to crowdsource it a little bit on the Discord or something. Have you guys help us?
We've done from Reddit.
Oh yeah, that's true. We did one on Reddit, didn't we? That was good. Yeah,
that was pretty good. We got a lot of words from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do that again. All right, so we're nearly out of time. We got 5 more minutes, so we'll do last round of questions. Wrinkly Tapia.
Yes, he has a question.
Oh, okay, nice handle. All right.
Yes.
He's already asked.
Skylord, I'm led to believe that you have a question. That's all right.
Yeah.
Calls ass out.
You got a question? I can't hear you. Let's go to Sankaraku.
Hey. Okay, so my friends asked me if you guys are going 30 minutes, when you stay in the dorm room for 30 minutes, your mic just turns off.
Does it?
Really? It turns off. Yeah, it does.
Why would you be in the dorm room for 30 minutes?
What platform are you on?
Maybe you're taking a break. Maybe a break.
Yeah, could be. What platform are you on, Sankaraku?
PSVR, and my friend plays on H5, so I'm everywhere.
Okay.
Oculus.
Okay, I've never noticed that happening. You're probably right. Would you like it so that the mic doesn't turn off? Is that what you want?
PSVR here.
Yeah, because it's completely annoying. Every time I go out, everyone tells me, oh, you have to log in, log out for in again. So it's kind of annoying in this way.
Have you tried pushing the mic button off and on a bunch of times on the headset?
I did it. Yeah, I did. I did so many times. Don't understand.
You restarted.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very helpful, Pedro.
And the finale of all things. Have you tried unplugging it? Made me burn my mouth.
Made you burn your mouth? I'm sorry to hear that.
And I drank hot,
Mama Monkey.
so hot.
Oh.
To the
Big
point
fan.
it stayed on my mouth 2 days. So I hate disc golf. I don't
Okay.
love it.
Posted on Discord
I
about it, it was great.
apologize.
And thank you.
I apologize for that. Bolts, you have another
Let's
question?
go.
Okay, so I'm just gonna try and get these questions out the way. My first question is, will there be a zombie mode? And second question is, forget about the second question. Just the first, will there be like a zombie mode with
Hang on a second. So the question was, will there be a zombie mode? And I want to come back with the question, what is a zombie mode?
I think you mean
Well, like,
conquest.
do you know Call of Duty, like the FPS shooter game?
Oh, I see.
You know, there's like zombies on that, just like a type
Oh,
of
no,
wave game.
a
mode.
wave shooter.
I'm not familiar with this Call of Duty. What is this Call of Duty of which you speak?
It's just like a war game, but like there's like this zombie mode where it's just a bunch of waves of enemies
just
coming
wave
at you,
shooter,
and
yeah.
like you can open
Like, oh,
doors and
yeah.
access different rooms and stuff to survive.
I'm going to give you a hard maybe on that one. I'm not sure. No current plans. All right, so we can do 3 more questions. Let's do for people who have not asked a question yet. Who has not asked a question? Nadia, we haven't heard from you today.
So thank you for including the freeze objects in the maker pen. It works brilliantly when I remember to save the room. Is it possible that we could be able to take small items like the drinks back and forth between connected rooms?
Okay, so the question was, it was A, thank you for allowing us to freeze items. So if you haven't played with the custom rooms, we now let you freeze objects, so you can't accidentally pick them up and move them. So you can like set up scenery and decorations, and they don't go crazy. And then you're like, yeah. So that's an interesting idea. Maybe we could investigate if you're just holding something small. Maybe you could take it with you through a door. I don't know. There might be good technical reasons why that's hard. I can see why that would be cool. So yeah. Let me so for the second time in a row, I'll give you a hard maybe on that one.
Okay.
All right, who has not asked a question? Shopflow, we haven't heard from you.
On Steam, I can't get a refund for this game. Do you know
Are you sure? All right, well, so the thing is, well, how about this, Shopflow? First, you got to pay me $100, then I'll give you a refund. I promise.
Okay.
I'll give you a 50%
Deal?
refund.
Wait,
Okay.
wallet right here.
All right, one last question. Who has not asked a question? Jerry.
I was just wondering, have you guys ever thought of having holstered weapons? You can holster a weapon while you're playing the Jumbotron.
Yeah, so the question was, have we thought about having holstered weapons so that you could just like put them on your hip?
Yeah,
Yes,
so if you want to carry
yes.
more than one weapon.
Yes, we've thought about it. We may have even prototyped it, right, Motivator? Yeah, and so I would say, yes, you are likely to have that in a future update.
Maybe not in later
All right.
but
One last question, Daxter. I saw you had a question before we go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, can we have a handle to move around the menu when you hold it in place?
When you detach it, you want to like
Yes.
move it around? Yeah,
Exactly,
so the
like
question, So the question was, could we have a handle on the menu? So does everyone know you can detach the watch menu? Does everyone know that?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can do that. And then, maybe you could move it around. That was actually in part of the original design. Had a little handle on it so you could move it around. We just never
Even
implemented
one
it.
for the keyboard.
Yeah, it's a good idea. We'll look into that.
And second question is, can we have a button on the bottom of the RC car to spawn the controller? But more of the times you use the controller more often than the
That's
car
a
itself.
Did you hear that one, Motivator?
Genius.
What was that? Sorry? Motivator also programs the RC car. So the question was, couldn't we have a button on the bottom of the RC car to reset the remote? Because you tend to lose the remote more than the car.
Oh.
It's a good idea.
Good one, Daxter.
I hadn't thought of that, actually. Yeah, it's a good idea. We'll look into those, Daxter. Thank you. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks to everyone for being here. We really appreciate it when you come and talk to us. I hope you enjoy the custom rooms. Thank you. And so test out the custom rooms.
I love you.
Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like.
I love you.
Give us feedback. Hey, we love all you guys. All right, so have fun. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Much appreciated.
Thank you. All
All right, I gotta go.
Wait.
Thank you, Dribbler.
Have a nice weekend.
Am I supposed
Have a
to
nice
just say
weekend.
no to
Christmas.
people with this microphone?
Happy Hanukkah.
Yes. Happy
Chris McWise. I'm just going to make a room now of a question I want to make. Bye-bye. Bye. Oh, it's snowing!
No.
Cheers.
No, you can now if you
guys
want.
done any more
If
Ultimate
people
Frisbee?
crash out, it's not as big.
No, I don't want to give him to Velvet. I want to give him to
Everybody
Alpha.
might crash.
Let me take my
Yeah,
camera.
PSVR users are especially impacted.
It's like
so.
it's like all
I'm okay.
Yeah, looked like it.
Take a selfie.
Alpha's getting all the love right now.
Gee, what's up, man?
Is this now an unofficial QA session?
Jet.
No cheers for Velvet.
Hey.
I'm a part of the
I know so many people are talking. It's really hard to tell who's.
Nice. Okay, perfect. Great. Okay.
I'm gonna be recording for you.
Oh man, that's awesome. I'll use your face as video. Done deal, brother.
Yeah, so for the maker pen, are you guys
motor mic?
So how do I get people to
Yeah, for sure. It'll probably go into like the edit mode of but we're not sure yet. Like I said before,